Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Transformation Tuesday. All right, just going to light up my Palo Santo here. We'll wait for a few people to come on. And I hope you're well this Tuesday. It's actually a little bit chilly here this morning, but still compared to some other places in Australia, it was actually quite nice. So I can't complain, really. Just got to put a jumper on. So we're going to be talking about trust today and how we can trust ourselves more and whether you do trust yourself or not. And I love the smell of this. It's just so beautiful. So yeah, grab a cuppa, and if you're here on the replay, you may like to listen all the way through to the messages that I give for people, because even though they may not be exactly for you, they often resonate, and often we hear what we need to hear. That's pretty much it. So if you are here on the replay, have a listen through and see if there's any of the messages that are resonating with you, and you just never know. And if you are here on the replay, if it is still in June, because people watch these all the time at different times, if it's still in June, I do currently have a June reading offer on, and you might like to book in for that. And if you book one of the 1 hour sessions, you'll also get a 30-minute session with me. You can use it straight away or at a later date, or you can even gift it to someone else. Okay, so still waiting. As soon as you hop on, make sure you come say hi, give me a wave, let me know you're here. And if you've got any questions today on anything that is, not giving you flow moving forward, please let me know, and I will endeavour to answer your questions for you. I just need to bring my crystals over here a little bit. All right, so today we're talking about trust, and I wrote a blog yesterday. For those of you who don't know, I'm doing 30 days, 30 blogs. So if you are interested in being inspired by what I write, you will see the posts here, or you can hop over to my website at TrishRock.com, and all the blogs will be there. I wrote one yesterday on trusting ourselves, and from a very early age, we're kind of domesticated into not trusting ourselves, not just by our parents, who certainly on the whole don't mean for that to happen, but we get all of these messages either directly from people around us or from the media constantly, even as we're older. And they're all messages of, you're not good enough, you can't trust yourself, you need somebody else to make the answers for you, you need somebody else to find the solutions. And even with intuitive work, oh no, you can't tune into that, someone else has to do it. And it's not true. We've got all the answers within us. Now, I'm not saying that we don't ever need to seek help or guidance from other people, because we do, right? Because even when we hear those messages ourselves, we often don't believe them. We're like, oh, that can't be true. I need to go get it confirmed. So and when we get to that point where we're really not trusting the answers when they come, that is definitely when you need to find a mentor or a coach to really help you, or even just a friend to talk it through. But why don't we trust ourselves, right? Where's that childlike curiosity gone? And being in that childlike curiosity in life, it puts you in that energy of trusting that flow, trusting those messages that come in. When we're not in that flow, we question everything. And so we may receive a bit of a gut feeling, and we'll question that. We might be, looking for the best way forward, and we will actually have, the feeling of it will come, and we really will know which direction we want, but we won't trust that. And all these little voices are in our head, right? From growing up and from all of the messages in the media. I mean, even the more obvious stuff, right? Like how we look. Like, do we really trust that we are enough and that we are allowed to look like? Do we trust that? No, because we've been told that's not good enough. We need to look a certain way, be a certain way, dress a certain way. And so when you can really start tuning into that trust of yourself and saying, yeah, I trust my opinion on this. I trust my feeling on this, and this is what I'm going for. And then, of course, when you get to that point, you then have this kind of fears that come up on what will other people say. And that's all of that, stuff we've learned over our lifetime of putting on a mask. Don't trust yourself. Somebody else is wiser or, better at this stuff than you. Put the mask on. Don't rock the boat. And just do what you're told. And, that is in various forms for every person. So when you start to open up this kind of flow and this heart-based trust for yourself, yes, there's fears that come up. But if you can be really solid on who you are and your value, then opening up this trust becomes easier. And, this has been a couple of the main areas in my life or in my self-trust that I've worked on is really understanding my innate value. And this is what I like to help other people with, understanding your innate value. And it's not based on anything external. Right? You're valuable just because you are. And when you can really grasp that and believe that and live that, then your trust in yourself grows exponentially. And things change. Absolutely, things change. You're more in flow. You're not in that energy, that stuck, resistant energy of second guessing yourself. Right? I had a good example of this the other day. And this is a ongoing basis. It's ongoing, whether we trust ourselves or not. With all things, this was with a very brief dream that I had, and just a few, not even images. I can't even say some images popped up in my head, but there was a presence there. There was this presence and a knowing that this was happening in this scene, and it was very fleeting. It was a blue life form, and I was there in their pod. We're having a conference. And so, as I said, I didn't see anything, but I sensed it, I felt it, and I just kind of knew it. And it only lasted a few seconds, and I woke up and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then my mind starts going in, but you didn't see it. How do you know it was a blue character? How do you know this? How do you know that? And I'm like, I just need to go with this and trust it because that's what I felt. And that has taken practice. And I think in any intuitive work, and I know many of you listening do intuitive work, it does take practice to trust yourself and the messages you get. And, many of you notice that I I kind of laugh sometimes when I'm reading, and I'm not laughing at anybody or anything. That's me hesitating for a moment to interpret messages. And sometimes it's my self-doubt that is blocking the message, because it's like, oh, I'm not going to say that. Right? So we all have our ways of pushing that self-doubt out of the way. So whatever it is for you, and it could even be, just trusting yourself at your work, trusting yourself with making a decision in your life in some way, trusting yourself with relationships, trusting yourself with your dreams and your desires for the future, and knowing that anything that you imagine is absolutely possible for you. Otherwise, you would not have imagined it. So it's these little steps daily to trust ourselves again, and put aside any of the messages that we're bombarded with on a daily basis from advertising companies, that we're not good enough in some way, and that we need to, trust other people who know better, right? To house us, to dress us, to feed us, to, be happy for us, to feel joy. Well, do all of that in their own way, right? And we need to find our way. We need to trust ourselves that we are just innately abundant, innately valuable, and our energy, our mind, our body, always talking to us and always showing us the next step. Should we trust it? Yep. Oh, we've got a couple of people. Hey, Melissa. Hey, Sarah. All right, Melissa, you're struggling with your relationship. Can't detach. Head chatter is a bugger, isn't it, Melissa? Yeah, absolutely. Now, I want to talk a little bit about not being able to move on from something or someone. The first question that is really important for you to ask yourself is, how am I benefiting from still being connected? How am I benefiting from that? And there will be an answer. And that really gives you a way forward then. And I've been talking about this a little bit lately in different sessions with different clients, because it's coming up for a lot of people. We're wanting to move on in a new direction, or we just don't feel in alignment with where we are, whether it's in a relationship or career, or, where our health is, or any of that. So and then there's the attachment part of it. It's like, well, it doesn't seem to matter what I do, that person is still there, or, I can't shake off the cord, or I can't move forward, and all of this. There's a benefit. Now, I'll give you an example of benefits, because sometimes we say, well, it's not a situation I want. Why would it be a benefit? Or, I really have moved on. Why would it be a benefit? But there are benefits. And if you ask yourself enough times, you'll find the benefit. Then you can turn it around. So I'm about to do some transformation work on myself again in relationships. So I've turned quite a few areas of my life around. And so now it's time for me to invite a partner in. Now, I've been asking myself lately, well, what's been the benefit of not having a partner? Because if we truly are ready, if we're truly not resisting, whatever we want will show up. And if it's not there, it's because we're resisting. So how am I resisting? Well, there's actually quite a lot of benefits that I can find for me not having a boyfriend right now, right? just lying, kind of being around the house, doing a bit of gardening and slobbing around on Sunday. Didn't have a shower, just, no one was watching me. I could just not be conscious of anyone's eyes on me. That's a benefit, right? And there are other things that it is actually a benefit for me not to have somebody in my life right now. So I need to turn those benefits around and create the opposite benefit, so that it's more of a benefit for me to have somebody in my life. And you can do the same. So Melissa, I think the first thing I would get you to just breathe into it, get your journal, and even close your eyes if you need to, and just look at the situation and just really ask yourself, what is it that I actually want here? Take your mind off the soul lessons and I'll pull a card for you in a minute, but I just really feel, you need to be clear on why you're struggling. Why are you struggling in that relationship? Where's the clarity there? Have you shifted energy and he hasn't? Is there something else going on? You just feel out of alignment, but is that something that can be brought back into alignment? You need to really be clear on what the struggle is. So I would firstly do that. And then, if you really do want to detach, as you've said in your message here, if you really want to detach, then ask yourself, what are the benefits of not being able to? So it's really about clarity here. And until you're actually clear on the issue or the struggle, you can't change it. Right? For so many years, I was struggling in relationships too, but I was struggling in a lot of areas of my life. So ultimately I bundled it all up into the one pot and just said I was struggling with life. But when you actually get clear, when I got clear, there was actually some old beliefs about myself and my value that I was actually struggling with, which then filtered out into business, relationships, etc. So until I got that clarity, I couldn't change anything. So we really need to get that clarity here. Now, which cards am I going to use? I'm just going to use my tarot cards, I think. So Melissa, I would definitely do that. Get some clarity. You might like to book in for a session with me. I've got a great offer for June, right, for an hour, and then you get an extra 30 minutes. So you can either use that in the same appointment or you can use it at a later date. But that's one thing I'm really good at, is getting clarity for people for where the actual issue is. And when you know where the issue is, you can change it. Until then, you're just guessing and you're just kind of grabbing at straws, and then it's frustrating because things don't change. So let me see, what does Melissa need to know right now? Too many cards. Just give us one. Okay, he's teaching me so much. My needs aren't being met. I feel I've outgrown him. That's wonderful. Yes. Yeah, absolutely, Melissa. Let me pull a card for you. Just ask yourself those questions. Why do you feel you've outgrown? Is there a line of communication you could open up that would perhaps, maybe he's feeling the same? All right, so I've got the Three of Wands in reverse for you, Melissa. This is really about no clarity. So this is saying, you know, you don't really want to be where you are, but you don't have a vision of where you want to be, right? Because this way around is the vision. It's getting out of the darker waters and moving forward. Without that vision, you're stuck. So I would definitely ask those questions. Do some self-inquiry today. Just write it all out, and really the clarity and the answers will come. So just really ask yourself, what am I struggling with? Where do I feel out of alignment? How have I, why do I feel I've outgrown? In what areas, in what way? What are my needs that aren't being met, and how, and you know, if I was clear on all of those things and communicated that to him, would things change? So I feel sometimes we, you know, put ourselves on this little island out in the middle of nowhere, and we kind of and there's, you know, no sun, and we're just banging around in the dark and we can't get off. Clarity is key. Clarity is key to moving forward in any area of life. So I would definitely do that, Melissa. Ask yourself those questions, and then trust. Of course, today's message is about trust. Trust your next step. Trust the answers that come up, and trust that you also do have many of the answers that you need, but it's the clarity that is not there. So have a little play with that today. I hope that's helped. Sarah, hey Sarah, you're having dreams? Oh my goodness, I'm just having some crazy dreams. Russell Brand was in my dream last night. Interesting. He was like a prophet. So, really interesting dreams right now. All right, let me pull you a card. Let me pull you a card. Sarah? And by the way, I've got my beautiful orange spray on, Sarah. Thank you. It's very uplifting, very uplifting. All right, Sarah, I've got these two cards for you, and immediately that this is saying to me that your mind is getting in the way of an opportunity. So how can you flip that around? You really need to get that power back over your mind. You're welcome, Melissa. Get that power back over your mind. So I think maybe there's some fears coming up for you. And, you know, once again, this is also about trust. I feel there's an opportunity here for you to enhance what you're doing, or someone's offered you something. And then the fears come up about, change. Fears come up about change. So try to harness that power that you have to sort that out. And once again, this is about clarity too. What actually are you fearing about that next step? And are those fears really true? Right? Most of the time they're not. They're old beliefs. So this for you, I think, is really about clarity, so that you can really get a clearer view on what your mind is telling you that may not be true. It is telling you something and then creating an emotional reaction. So to really trust and come from your heart space, and then direct the mind into thinking from your heart instructions, that really gives you that empowerment then to make a decision. Maybe it's not the right movement forward for you. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but you won't know until you're coming really from a heart space, not from that, not from those old beliefs or whatever fear is coming up. I really feel it's for you, there's a real shift in peace is the word that's coming to me. There's a real shift in the fear of starting, Sarah. I just feel there's a real peace shift in you. And, I guess sometimes over our life we've been at these crossroads before and things haven't worked, or we've had experiences that we don't want to repeat. So those fears come up and they kind of put our peace in an imbalance. I feel that there will be actually a higher level of peace, whether or not you move forward with this or not. The actual determining of what is coming up for you and clarity for that will actually bring you more peace. So you'll be really in a more trusting state. Is what I'm hearing. I'm just arguing with myself saying, Sarah's always peaceful. And yet the message still comes. So I just have to trust that. So whatever that is for you, Sarah, I just feel there's like a next level of peace that comes from here, and not allowing those old beliefs to come in and rock the boat kind of thing. But whatever is coming up was not from the person that you are now. So really trust that you've got the strength to move forward should you want to, and then trust whether you are ready, trust whether you want to or not. But just find that peace. Oh, there we go. I've got it now. I'm clear. Find that peace about being strong enough and heart-based enough to move forward should you want to. Find that peace. And then the decision will not only be easier, but it won't be an either or. It'll be, yeah, this is the way. I hope that makes sense. Oh, perfect. It does make sense. Thanks, Sarah. Yeah, it's the right move forward. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. I love that, Sarah. And it's not random that you're here today. All right, let's have a look. Hello, Zara. You're stuck with your career and kids. Okay. Let me see what's going on with you. I feel once again it's about clarity for you too, Zara. So some of these exercises and tools that I'm sharing today, would really be useful for all of you actually who are listening, because clarity really is key here. What is it that is the struggle? What is it that you are feeling stuck or blocked with? Because often when we bundle it all into the one pot, we just can't make sense of it. And because we can't make sense of it, everything else that comes along goes into the pot too. And we just kind of, our life is crap and I'm stuck with everything. And that's not really true, right? There's only a couple of things that are out of alignment for you, and it's creating resistance in other areas. So Zara, for you, there's a lot of judgment right now for you that I feel that you're letting go. And last week and the week before has really been a lot of letting go. We're in this Sagittarius full moon, which is about letting go. I think for you, there's judgments that are being let go, self-judgments, old beliefs about yourself. Now, that's great, and I think it's wonderful if we can, whatever judgments about ourselves we can get rid of, let go of, move forward from, the more the better, because any way that we judge ourselves actually shows up in other people. So Zara, the clarity here will really help you ask yourself, what actually am I stuck with? But what I'm hearing here is that because you've been letting go of some old beliefs, or there's some coming up for you to look at, this is creating some areas that are out of alignment with your career and the kids, because if your energy's shifting, then they will be reflecting something different to you right now than you're perhaps used to. So it's probably more about you than them, and once again, you really need some clarity there. And feel free to book in for a longer reading, because clarity, it seems to be a day of clarity here for everybody, but it really is key to taking that next step and not being caught up in the resistance. And of course, if it's about career and children and family, we get caught up in all of that resistance, we start getting frustrated, and we start getting frustrated, and we tend to take it out on those people around us, when really it's just something in us that we're not clear about and we're feeling out of alignment with. So Zara, do that exercise as well, and celebrate any of those old beliefs that are coming up for you right now. Celebrate that you're recognizing, perhaps it's, like you're valuing yourself more, or nurturing yourself more, or trusting yourself more, right? Whereas some of those old critics in your head never did, and perhaps that's easing a little bit. So get clear on what actually it is that you feel that you're stuck on or with, and then the answers will come. All right. Let me see. Hello, Ashley. How are you? All right, let me pull a card for you. Okay. A sip of my tea. All right. What do we need for Ashley? Ashley, gosh, if this is a show about trust, then this is a big sign that you are not trusting yourself. This card is absolutely about you not trusting your thoughts, your words, your mind. It's some guilt, some shame thrown in there. I just feel for you that there's this. I feel there's this gate that's opening for you. It's like a doorway that is opening for you. But what will you take with you through there? What will you take and what will you leave behind in regards to your thoughts? Because here's one thing I've learned in my life, especially the last 10 years, no matter where you go, there you are, right? Back in 2009, my life was just crap, or so I thought, because I bundled everything into the same pot, right? So my big statement was, I hate my life and I'm leaving, and it's everybody else's fault because they're all making me miserable. So I left the state, I went and lived somewhere I'd never lived before and knew nobody. And I thought, well, this will be good because everybody who's making me unhappy, I won't have to see again. Right? And then lo and behold, 6 months later, there I am on my own in the house, still miserable. Wherever you go, there you are. So Ashley, will you step through this gateway, this this opportunity, this next chapter, this next energy level? Will you step through that carrying the same stuff? You've got a choice here, I think. You've really got a choice, you know, and to be really honest with yourself. You know, what is serving me? What can I let go of? We're still in full moon energy. What can I let go of that is not serving me anymore? Can I let go of those thoughts that are not kind and nurturing to me? Can I let go of any guilt from something I might have said, done, or experienced years ago? Can I let go of, you know, any situation that I'm still holding on to? What can I let go of? And mostly here, it's about something that you don't trust about yourself. And I would do the writing exercises as well, actually. So I would do the writing exercises and try to get clear on what's actually in alignment with you right now and what's not, with your thoughts mainly. Yeah, and you know, forgiveness is freedom. In my program, when I'm working with clients, you know, forgiveness is the second step. And it's just so important to forgive and let go. Forgive doesn't condone anyone or anything. Forgiveness is freedom for you. So, yeah, so get clear. There's definitely some old stuff here that's holding you back personally, Ashley. It's all in here and in here. So do some writing. Alrighty. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Sarah. Hello, Michelle. Michelle Condos. Let's have a look. What have we got for you, Michelle? All right. Michelle, I feel that this card came up. I just don't know whether it was in reverse or not. It was kind of sideways. So maybe that's just a sign that it's moving. This is the comparison card. This is feeling less than others. It's feeling left out of, you know, other people are where you want to be. Social media is a really big comparison playground, right? Because it was sideways, I feel that there's a shift here for you. And once again, I'm going to tune into the full moon energy of letting go, and I feel some discord within you. I feel some. That's probably why it was sideways, actually. I feel like one foot in, one foot out. And I'm not quite sure what area of life that is, but I just feel that there's this discord, and you're just out of alignment. Part of you still goes back to that comparing, and the other part is free of that. So I don't think you'll go backwards. So have that faith and that trust in yourself, Michelle, that I don't think that you'll step back. But you are moving forward from this, of really trusting yourself and not comparing yourself to others, and to really knowing your value, your innate value, not based on anyone or anything. So that's really what I think you're moving towards. You've got one foot in, one foot out, and they're saying to me that you need to not worry about going backwards, because it's all systems go for you now. But just at this very moment, that's where you are. And so because this message has come up for you, that might just give you some ease now in just acknowledging where you are, and just saying to yourself, oh, okay, I'm shifting energy, but I'm not quite there yet, and that's okay. And that will release the resistance, and you will move forward a lot faster. That was an interesting message. I hope that made sense, Michelle. Yeah, interesting. So this is another lesson on trust, everybody who's here today and everyone listening on the replay. You've got to trust what comes through for you, whether you're doing this kind of work or whether this is a question you're asking about your own life. Trust that it comes through. And guys, I'm not there every day, right? I had a big decision to make last week. Oh, I seriously was in a real tiz about it. I wasn't trusting myself. I pulled some cards. I wasn't trusting the cards, right? We all get in that. You just need to breathe and do what you can to get rid of the resistance, because when you get rid of the resistance and you truly follow what it is that, you know, you can really trust from here, everything goes much faster. I think I made the decision by about 9:30 that morning, and seriously, everything lined up perfectly and beautifully after that. And, you know, all you can say when things like that happen is thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But, you know, I could have been in that indecision all day because my mind was overriding my trust. So whatever it is in life, if you can do what you can to quieten the mind and get into here, the answers are always there for you. The answers are always there. Oh, that's how you feel right now, Michelle? Yeah. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Well, that will really help you, that message today then. And yeah, try to drop the resistance of it. Be okay with it and know that you're not going to step back. Yeah, it's all systems go for you, and the faster the resistance is dropped, the quicker you will go forward. All right. Oh, you're welcome, Zara. All right, who else do we have here? Azinta. A card about your relationship. Okay, let's have a look here. Hello, Kutsi. How are you? You're very welcome, Michelle. Hello, Lee. All right, Azinta. Ooh, okay, we've got the Queen of Swords. Now, what am I tuning in here on this one? You know, the Queen of Swords is an air sign. I feel here that a lot of your communication is sometimes not received in the way that you want it to be. Sometimes we wonder why people are agitated or annoyed with what we say when, you know, when we feel we've been clear. But I feel there needs to be a bit more clarity in your communication at this time, because I feel that sometimes this sword comes down and is a bit harsh in other people's opinions. Yeah. So what I would do here, Vicinta, is before you communicate with, and this is about your relationship, so before you communicate with your partner, set the intention. What is your intention of the outcome? What is your intention from the heart of what it is you want to say? That's the first thing I would do. The second thing is to, 'cause, The second thing is to get real clarity on, once again, we're back to clarity here today. Get some real clarity on what feels off. There's something that feels a little bit off here. And I don't know whether it's actually true or whether the non-clarity of it is making it true. So you need to really get clear here on your truth. Who it is you are. Truth on who it is you are and how you express that. You need clarity, yes. Very hard to communicate. Getting back, yeah, and then I get annoyed. So, yeah, and then when you're annoyed, then the sword kind of comes down, you see, and then it just becomes harsh. And if you're harsh in your communications with another person, they will just shut it down. Especially men. If they feel they're being blamed for something, they will just shut off. So there needs to be a softness in the communication. There needs to be an intention behind the communication, and then a letting go of it. So I would get clear first on, what it is that is actually creating this tension. I'm feeling so much tension in my body. I just need to wriggle. I'm just feeling such tightness and such tension here. Get some clarity on what that is, and what do you need to solve that? No one else. What do you need to solve that? And some real clarity on what it is you're trying to communicate. You'll be trying to communicate, your needs in some way here. So some real clarity on that. Very closed. I tried, and then I get angry for, yeah. So, yeah. There needs to be some clarity here on what it is that is really bothering you in that relationship right now. Because the more frustrated you get, the more closed off the other person will be. So, you just end up in a stalemate. You're sore in your neck and shoulders, yeah. Yeah. You're welcome, Sarah. You're welcome. Have a beautiful day. Yeah, Vacinta, I would definitely just sit with this, try to get some clarity around what it is that you're asking. What is it you're asking? What is this? What is the need that isn't being met for you right now? Get some clarity on that, and then when you've got the heart intentions moving forward and the clarity, then you will be heard in a different way. Okay, I hope that's helped. All right. Hello, Dominique. How are you? All right. Who else do we have here? Kutsi. Lee, let me pull a card for you. All right. Oh, once again, time's gone so fast. And last week, I have to apologize. My internet just went done, over. And then I walked away, and then I came back like 20 minutes later, and it was on again, and there was a blank screen. I'm like, uh-oh, it's been screening. It's been still live without me here. Anyway. Lee, I love this for you. Beautiful emotional fulfillment here for you. I just really feel that you're in a really good space right now. Perhaps there's been some letting go this week and last week with this full moon energy, but this for me is pure happiness here, real emotional stability, and loving your environment right now. So that is beautiful. Maybe that's just a confirmation that you needed today. You're welcome, Jacinta. You're welcome. And yeah, look, if any of you would like further clarity, really, this is really one of my magic skills, is to really get in and actually find out what the issue. I'm just it's just something that comes so easily to me when I'm working with people. So I do have an amazing offer on for June. If you want to book in, if you book in for a 1 hour session, you get an extra 30 minutes. Now I'm only doing readings Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays now. So PM me and I'll send you the link, or I can book you in. Alrighty. Okay, we've done Lee, Michelle, Kudzi. Let me pull a card for you. Kudzi. What have we got for you? And so if you've just come on, we are talking today about trust, coming from the heart and trusting yourself and learning to trust yourself. And it's a daily process because there's things that come up on it moment by moment that, you know, we've got to learn to trust ourselves and not the old voices in our head. Could see some changes for you here. I actually really love the Tower card. A lot of people get scared by it because it's like, oh my goodness, my whole world is going to come crumbling down and I hate change. But, you know, for me, that this is really good because sometimes we build structures in life that just aren't working. And we get the messages that they're not working. We get the signs, we get the nudges, and we do nothing with it. Until ultimately, you know, something, someone, or, you know, the universe comes along and gives you a bit of a helping hand to make those changes, right? Sometimes in an okay, comfortable way, sometimes not. Kudzi, I just feel for you that there is some changes, big changes happening for you, but I don't feel it's anything in the physical world. I feel it's more sorry, I've got a singlet on today because it's cold here. I feel it's in the energetic realm for you that there's these changes coming in. And I feel that one of your belief systems is really crumbling at the moment. And it's a belief system that is not supporting you anymore. So whatever that is, it's an old belief that you've had for a long time that has really created a lot of resistance in life for you. I feel you're about to let that go, or you're in the process of it. And it can be confusing if it's something that you've really held on to for a long time. It can be confusing. Who am I now without that belief? What does my life look like now without that belief? And so I feel you're in the midst of that at the moment, and it can be a little bit confusing. But keep going and keep trusting yourself, and just tune in whenever you are feeling a little bit, oh, I'm a bit unclear about this. Get grounded, get centered, and tune in and just ask yourself, do I trust the process? And what's my next step? I'm going to trust what comes. Okay? Beautiful. Kim. Hey, Kim. All right. Let me pull a card for you. Oh, that one flew out. Emotional fulfillment here for you as well. This is a card saying all your cups are quite full and you're celebrating. It's a celebration. So, Kim, I feel things are pretty good for you right now. You've got a lot to celebrate. And if you're not celebrating those areas in your life where your cups are full, then this is a message to do that. And often we can, you know, really tune into the things that aren't working, when really there are so many things in our life that are. So this is a sign and a message for you to celebrate what's working right now, what's filling your heart with joy. Really celebrate that. See, he's got his cup there. Cheers to you. Celebrate. 9 is the end of a cycle. So I feel some hard times are behind you, Kim. So that's something to celebrate. All right. Dominique, let me pull a card for you. Right. What does Dominique need to know? Oh, that's the one. Oh, look at you. I think last week I pulled a card for you. It was very flowy and very intuitive as well. So here you are. the High Priestess in all of your beautiful feminine energetic glory. And I feel for you, this is just another confirmation that you are on the right track. I feel there's something opening up for you as well. This is a gateway card, and you're about to walk through this opening into, the words they're giving me is a land of wonderment. Walking into a land of wonderment. Oh, I love that. Now, the moon there is just after a new moon, so it's about new intentions. And I just feel this last cycle for you has really brought up some new intentions, which you're now letting go of the old fears that are attached to those new intentions, and you're about to really move forward in your, I say element, but it's bigger than that, in your purpose, in your higher purpose, Yay. All right. Oh, hey Kim. Yes, I'll give you the link to the bookings. Actually, just let me grab it now for you, and I'll put it in the comments. All right, where's the link? Grab it for you. Okay, now let me come back to you. I'll pop it in. All right, so the link to my booking schedule is in the comments if you'd like to book in, and I'd that. All right, you're welcome, Lee. All right, yeah, Dominique, I love that too. It's beautiful. Oh, thank you, Kudzi. I hope that's helped. Thank you, Kim. You're very welcome. You're welcome, Dominique. All right. Well, looks like I've got through everything. And interesting, right? I came to talk about trust, and until we're really clear on, what our resistance and what our next steps are, then the trust becomes kind of hidden underneath all of that. So really being clear on, where you want to be, how you want to feel, your alignment moving forward, really being clear on that and understanding where the resistance is really helps with you trusting your heart. So tune in, trust yourself, and use those tools and tips today for some clarity. Thank you, everybody, and I hope you have an amazing week. I'll see you next Tuesday.